Think a worn-out penny is worthless. Think again. Today, we're uncovering two rare one-penny coins from different states in bad condition that could be worth millions. Stay tuned. First up, the 1965 Elizabeth II one-penny coin, part of the pre-decimal British currency system that circulated widely throughout the United Kingdom and its territories during a period of significant social, economic, and cultural change, represents a fascinating intersection of art, history, and everyday life, and although a humble piece of bronze, its importance to collectors, historians, and those interested in numismatics cannot be overstated. This coin was minted in vast numbers during the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, specifically designed to feature the newly introduced Arnold Machen portrait, which was notable for being a youthful and detailed representation of the monarch, capturing her regal poise while simultaneously reflecting her approachability, with finely engraved hair, facial contours, and the intricate coronet that adorns her head, a design that emphasized both elegance and authority, and that replaced earlier depictions from the mid-1950s to mark a modern era of coinage, while simultaneously aligning with the stylistic trends of mid-20th century Britain, where modernization and technological advancement were mirrored in the more refined, high-relief designs of circulating coins. On the reverse, the coin prominently displays the seated figure of Britannia, a classical allegorical figure representing the United Kingdom, who is depicted holding a trident in one hand and resting the other on a shield emblazoned with the Union flag, a design element that speaks to the nation's maritime history, imperial legacy, and symbolic strength, with flowing robes, a Corinthian-style helmet, and the stylized depiction of waves at her feet, all finely detailed to convey movement and power. Though in coins that are in bad condition, many of these details may be significantly worn, smoothed, or entirely obscured due to decades of circulation, handling, and exposure to environmental factors, including humidity, chemical reactions, friction, and repeated physical contact, which gradually erodes the high points of the design, flattens the Queen's portrait, diminishes the sharpness of Britannia's trident and shield, and leaves the coin's fields marked with scratches, dents, discoloration, and dark patina, all of which are considered typical for coins graded as poor or bad condition in the numismatic world. Yet these imperfections also serve as evidence of the coin's extensive use in daily life, passing through countless hands, from the pockets of schoolchildren buying sweets to the purses of homemakers managing household budgets, from market stalls to public transportation fares, and in doing so, the coin became a silent witness to the unfolding of British life during the 1960s, a decade marked by post-war recovery, social transformation, technological innovation, and the gradual shift from Imperial Britain to a modern, more globally interconnected society. The penny itself, valued at 1/100th of a pound sterling under the pre-decimal system, was modest in monetary worth but significant in practical utility, facilitating transactions small and large, enabling ordinary citizens to participate in everyday commerce, and serving as a tangible reminder of the government's efforts to maintain a standardized, reliable, and recognizably British currency system, all while preparing the population for the eventual decimalization of currency, which would come into effect in 1971, making the 1965 penny part of the last years of a system that had evolved over centuries and carried with it layers of economic, social, and cultural meaning. Collectors today are drawn to this coin not only for its historical significance but also for the story it tells about the lives of ordinary people in mid-20th century Britain, as each mark, scratch, and discoloration can be interpreted as a small chapter in the coin's biography, reflecting years of circulation, environmental exposure, and the economic realities of the time, including inflation, changes in spending habits, and the widespread transition from cash-based small transactions to larger-scale banking and credit systems. From a numismatic perspective, the 1965 penny is often sought after as a foundational piece for pre-decimal sets, particularly because the Machen portrait is an iconic design, and even coins in bad condition have educational value, providing insight into minting techniques, bronze composition, weight standards, and die varieties. And while its market value may be modest due to its commonality, its significance lies in the cumulative narrative it represents, bridging the gap between everyday objects and historical documentation, and allowing modern collectors to tangibly connect with a period of British history defined by the juxtaposition of tradition and modernization. The enduring presence of the monarchy, and the lived experience of citizens navigating a changing world. Furthermore, the coin's design and composition reflect broader artistic, industrial, and metallurgical trends, including the use of bronze, a durable alloy chosen for its resilience, affordability, and workability, capable of withstanding decades of handling, yet susceptible to patination, verdigris, and surface corrosion that add to the unique character of each circulated coin, with some specimens exhibiting color changes from reddish-brown to dark brown or almost black, creating a distinct aesthetic that appeals to those who value authenticity over perfection, while simultaneously providing a tactile and visual record of human interaction, economic activity, and the passage of time. As a historical artifact, the 1965 penny links the observer to Queen Elizabeth II's early reign, a period marked by optimism, post-war rebuilding, cultural flowering, and the gradual reshaping of British identity in an increasingly globalized context, and its presence in poor condition underscores the democratic nature of circulation coins, as they were designed to serve every citizen, regardless of class or occupation, and their imperfections bear testimony to the egalitarian use of currency in daily life. The coin's story also intersects with educational and cultural narratives, offering insight into British art, symbolism, and national identity, while the Britannia figure reinforces values such as resilience, naval power, and patriotic pride, and the Queen's portrait embodies continuity, leadership, and stability, reminding collectors and historians alike that even small denominations can carry profound meaning. In addition, examining a 1965 penny in bad condition allows for discussions about coin conservation, grading systems, historical research, and the development of numismatics as both a hobby and an academic pursuit, illustrating the intricate balance between monetary function, artistic expression, historical record, and societal values, and demonstrating that no matter how worn, each coin is a repository of human experience, craftsmanship, and collective memory. Ultimately, the 1965 Elizabeth II 1 penny in bad condition is more than a piece of bronze with scratches and discoloration. It is a storyteller, a witness, an educational tool, a collector's item, and a bridge between past and present, encapsulating decades of history, social change, and artistic tradition in a small, humble, yet profoundly significant object that continues to fascinate, educate, and connect people who seek to understand the rich tapestry of mid-20th century Britain, from the everyday commerce of ordinary citizens to the symbolic representation of monarchy, national identity, and artistic achievement, making it a coin worthy of attention, study, and appreciation despite, or perhaps because of, its worn condition, as it carries with it the weight of time, human interaction, and historical significance, all compressed into a single, small, bronze disc that has endured for over half a century, quietly narrating the story of Britain in 1965, a story that is as accessible to the casual observer as it is to the dedicated numismatist, and one that continues to inspire interest, curiosity, and appreciation for the enduring power of currency as a cultural and historical artifact. Next up, the 1987 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin, a humble yet historically significant piece of British pre-decimal currency, represents not only the continuity of a monarch's reign but also a snapshot of late 20th century Britain, encapsulating economic conditions, artistic trends, metallurgical practices, and cultural symbolism within its small bronze frame. And although often overlooked in everyday circulation, this coin holds considerable interest for numismatists, historians, and collectors, especially in terms of design, production, and historical context, even when found in bad condition, as its wear tells a story of decades of hands, pockets, purses, cash registers, and countless transactions across the United Kingdom. Struck in bronze, a durable alloy composed primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, the 1987 penny features on its obverse the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen, showing the youthful, stylized profile of the monarch facing right, with detailed hair, a simple yet elegant diadem, and facial features that convey both dignity and approachability, reflecting the design ethos of the mid to late 20th century, a time when British coinage sought to balance realism with symbolic representation, and when the mint was experimenting with production efficiency and consistency across large circulation runs. The reverse side of the coin continues the traditional depiction of Britannia, a seated allegorical figure holding a trident in one hand and a shield in the other, wearing a Corinthian-style helmet, with flowing robes and a stylized depiction of the sea at her feet, symbolizing Britain's enduring maritime heritage, strength, and national identity, a motif that had adorned pennies for decades, dating back to the 19th century, but one which in 1987 retained a refined and simplified style suited to mass production and ease of recognition, emphasizing the balance between artistry and practicality in a coin meant for everyday use. In terms of condition, a 1987 penny classified as bad or poor typically exhibits extensive wear from circulation, including flattened features on the Queen's portrait, loss of detail on the Britannia figure, smoothing of the trident and shield, scratches and nicks across the coin's surface, discoloration ranging from dull brown to dark chocolate, and often chemical patina or verdigris caused by oxidation and environmental exposure over decades, all of which, while reducing aesthetic appeal and market value, provide an authentic record of the coin's journey through time, touching countless hands, witnessing daily commerce, and passing through the lives of ordinary citizens, from schoolchildren buying sweets to market traders making change for small purchases, from commuters using pennies on buses and trains to households managing budgeting and savings, making even a worn 1987 penny a silent witness to everyday British life in the late 20th century, minted under the reign of a monarch whose image had become one of the most recognized in the world. This coin also reflects broader historical themes, including the stability of the British monarchy, the transition from post-war austerity to modernization, the adaptation of national symbolism in a changing global context, and the evolution of British numismatics as both a scientific and artistic pursuit, with attention paid to die quality, consistency of alloy composition, and longevity of design across decades, ensuring that even heavily circulated examples continued to convey their intended imagery and meaning. The 1987 penny's value to collectors is modest in monetary terms due to its high mintage and relative commonality, but its educational and historical value is significant, especially when studied in relation to coinage techniques, design evolution, metallurgical properties, circulation patterns, and socio-economic context, as coins of this period reflect not only the government's approach to currency production but also the broader patterns of society, commerce, and daily life, demonstrating the integral role small denomination coins play in national economies and cultural memory. Furthermore, analyzing a 1987 penny in bad condition allows numismatists and enthusiasts to explore grading systems, conservation methods, and the ways in which environmental factors affect bronze over time, including surface oxidation, scratches from repeated handling, and chemical reactions with oils, acids, and other substances that coins encounter in circulation, all of which contribute to the unique story of each specimen. The coin also serves as a cultural artifact, linking observers to a specific time and place, allowing modern collectors to connect with the 1980s Britain, a decade marked by political change, economic restructuring, and social transformation, from technological innovation to shifts in popular culture. And the humble penny, despite its low face value, embodies these historical narratives in microcosm, representing the convergence of monarchy, economy, artistry, and social history in a single, small, circular piece of bronze. In essence, even a 1987 Elizabeth II penny in bad condition is far more than mere currency. It is a witness to history, an emblem of national identity, a tool for understanding economic and social structures, and a collectible that conveys lessons about the passage of time, human interaction, and the enduring relevance of coins as both practical objects and historical artifacts, offering insight into the lives of ordinary people, the work of artists and engravers, the operation of the royal mint, and the symbolic continuity of a nation, demonstrating that even the most modest, worn, and seemingly insignificant coins have stories to tell, knowledge to impart, and value to those willing to explore their history, artistry, and cultural significance, making the 1987 penny a deeply interesting and meaningful object for study, reflection, and appreciation, a small but powerful link connecting the past to the present, commerce to culture, monarchy to the masses, and everyday life to history itself, a coin that quietly endures, carrying with it decades of wear, circulation, and human experience, a tangible reminder that even in bad condition, money tells stories, preserves memory, and symbolizes identity, continuity, and resilience. and the 1987 Elizabeth II penny, modest in size yet immense in context, remains a fascinating artifact for collectors, historians, and curious minds alike, embodying the essence of British coinage, cultural heritage, and the passage of time. Please like and subscribe to my channel.